Okay, so this is my base. I'm going to do a transfer swipe of a bloom. So I started off with some pink that I mixed in with my pillow paint, and then some white because I liked the effect of that marbling look. Then as you see, there's some cells I swiped. Not beautifully, not perfectly. I got some areas where they're just the cell activator almost on its own, but it has that lovely pink. These cells I think are really cool. I think they're going to grow huge, and so are some of these. But I'm just starting now to do the bloom that's going to be transferred in pieces and layers and played with. We've got some of that bright phthalo blue or whatever it's called, and the blue black, and a different gold than what the cell activator was in this particular one. I used gold as my cell activator, and white and gold. And this one we'll be using black and silver. Okay. My only concern, I've blown this with my mouth, and then I used silver and black, first black, then silver, and then I added a little black again because I wasn't getting enough visible cells. Now I know this is a tight, it's only on like a 6 or 7 by, maybe it's 10 by 10 cardboard. But I got to have enough pillow paint under this to be able to scoop all this up and put it onto this canvas. Unfortunately, I don't have any way to show you me doing that, but I will show you the results. I'm still waiting for more cells. I'm still kind of spinning this on my little, still very useful spinner, just to get the cells enlarged and to see how thick that paint really is underneath it, because I'm gonna need it all, and it's gonna be what I put over top of that. So, okay, pause again. Just to give you an idea, now I've put this on my stool with my little dollar store Lazy Susan. The real spinner is in there, and that's what we'll do once we put whatever we like of this, which is, showing some promise now, and different colors, but not hopefully too contrasting. There's red and some pink in there. There's yellow, which we definitely had yellow and gold in this one. Okay, so I'm hoping how I put them down will make a big difference. And then I'm going to spin the whole thing out. So you can see there's room for both of them on the spinner. But of course, I have to work fast. I'm shaking, sorry. Sadly, we all have these tools we get when we first buy stuff in packages. I couldn't find that nice square thing that's beveled at the end that you would use to scoop this stuff and put it on here. But this is what I've done so far. I know it looks a little odd, but I want to see if I go and change directions a little, if it'll make it more interesting. It's an experiment, but this is the tool I'm using. Sometimes I'd put the stuff on the back when I was swiping with this, like zoop, zoop, zoop. But this time I'm scooping with the front down in here and then gently releasing it. Hopefully the patterns, some of them will stay intact. Some of them you'll just get pieces. In fact, some of them are a little too intact, and I'm not thrilled about that, but we'll see. It's my first time ever doing a large size transfer swipe, and only my second time doing a transfer swipe for real, on a real unused canvas. So fingers crossed. So here's all that I have that I was managed to get out of that small bloom that I made, that I blew with my mouth and spun just a little, because it's all going to get spun. That's what you have to realize. Everything on here, a lot of the stuff at the edges, you won't see that. Just bits and pieces of them will remain, and the clashing colors will look like they're ripping open maybe a seam in the universe. If it's done right, these clashing colors and cell activators and the different types of lacing and the swipe versus the bloom together can be like a stunning, cool, unique thing. When I see a lot of them, though, I gotta admit I'm not a huge fan. It's why I've never done a lot of these, but this is on a I think 10 by 20 canvas. or something like that. Maybe bigger. I don't know. It's here's my hand. Does that help? I don't know. Anyway, I think I know, but I don't. Anyway, so this is what we got off. I wish I'd had more stuff to give it, but this is all I had, and not a lot of cells either, because I didn't even play with it. I forgot to modify all of that bloom, which would have made a considerable difference in what these look like. The areas where you do see any quirls are completely accidental. So I'm going to put this all on the spinner now, and we're going to see what gravity gives us. Just so you get an idea, here's one, sorry, here's one spin, and lots coming off, and that was done in one direction. I'm going to try it in the other direction and see what happens. It's on there with a lot of paint, holding it down, plus gravity. But with the pink and white base that I chose, which was just because I had all this Floetrol and pink mixed up, and I didn't think I was going to use it, I thought, hell, I'll mix it in with the pillow paint. So that's what we're seeing. And of course, it's a nice backdrop to all these cool colors. Everything looks good with pink. Look at this. Now, look at that rainbow in the corner. This is what I was hoping for. Look at these amazing cells, how big they're getting. Okay, now let's go in the other direction. And I'm going to pause this. No one's ever mentioned this before, but I'm going to. I notice I've done some modifications, and I'm glad I did them now rather than in the beginning, because it'd be, I think, more extreme, right? Because now I can hear the paint coming off faster, though. Look at how much more, since I modified it, that the paint feels it can move. It's like those areas that added divided spots have made it easier for the paint to just fly. And I mean, we're getting some pretty neat things. The irony is all the little swirls on this one, they stayed, but I never even bothered to touch that. Instead, I went in another direction with the segmented modification, where you just segment into a few so that maybe they'll open up as you do them. So, yeah. I'm going to see how much movement we have.